entitlement. So this is why they hate it when Congress is out of power. So this is the reason Lutyens media hates any non-Congress formation, and even within the Congress formation, non-Gandhi. When a non-Gandhi is a prime minister, they hate it, and there has been only one non-Gandhi as a non-Nehru as a prime minister, which is Narasimha Rao. I will tell you a real life anecdote about this period when Narasimha Rao was India's PM. One high-flying editor, Lutyens editor, but he used to live in Bombay, if I'm not mistaken, but very much part of the Lutyens club. The deracinated Oxford, Cambridge educated, Oxbridge educated guy, whose hearts and sympathies lay more in the Anglosphere than in dirty India. So this man, his wife, she was also a journalist, and as was the custom for many years until Mr. Modi abolished it, the practice of taking journalists on junkets and jaunts aboard the Prime Minister's flight. It was a practice that began, I think, with either Indira Gandhi or with Nehru. Anyway, with the Nehru Parivar itself. So this great editor's wife, she applied to go. I mean, there's a system for application, an elaborate bureaucratic process that goes behind that. Some of this work gets done through a phone call, if you know the right people. So she applied, and she described herself as the editor of an Urdu newspaper. And that application and letter landed on the desk of P.V. Narasimha Rao's PS. And he didn't have to read the letter. You see the name, right? And he knew her very well. She was part of press briefings from, and this man was a veteran civil servant. And he knew her from many years. He said, "Ye kab se Urdu journalist ban gayi?"
Oh, so she had no clue about Urdu.
Ye kab se Urdu editor ban gayi? And then he immediately said, rejected. And this man, the husband, he began a series of articles basically abusing P.V. Narasimha Rao's PS. His name is P.V.R.K. Prasad. Saying, some nasty old man or cunning something Babu imported from South India. The amount of vitriol that this great editor come journalist, hurled on almost on a daily basis against Narasimha Rao is incredible. You can read it even on the pages of rediff.com. Their archives are still there.
So just because he wanted his wife to accompany on that junket, he replied with various things. He went against
Narasimha Rao and the civil servant,
the PS to the Prime Minister.
Yes, and this great editor during the UPA regime and during the last days of the NDA-1 regime, much later in 2010, one part of his high-flying career were revealed in a phenomenon which is now known as Radia Tapes.
Okay, I think I know who you're talking about, and for some strange reason which I don't know, I think that person has blocked me also.
And he called himself repeatedly as a journalist of consequence. You're talking about entitlement. He would write things like this in his pieces, referring to himself.
Yeah, and from what I've seen of his marginalized self, the shock of the gravy train having been stopped and the vitriol, like you said, he spews.
Yes.
The serious sense of condescension, it is intact.
Yeah.
He actually believes the journalist of consequence.
Yes.
Who nobody cares about.
Exactly. And he gets flown in company-sponsored choppers, which lands on the terraces, helipads atop, these 7-star hotels. He's given a royal treatment. plied with free food, and he calls himself a food writer.
Journalism, I think
This
is a good career or
yeah,
was good career.
yeah, yeah. So on a journalist